Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or Hbar if you will. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things in this video. First and foremost, we're going to be addressing the weekly candle close today. Listen, it's not looking too good in terms of the market unless we see a massive recovery real quick where we pretty much have a nice spike on Bitcoin and most altcoins. I'm not expecting Hbar to have a solid close today like we were expecting. It would have been great for us to actually withstand or sustain the pump over 46 cents. We couldn't do that. In fact, we didn't even get that high in terms of that pump. Like, we hit about 47 cents, almost 48 cents realistically, but we couldn't sustain that, pretty much volume, and it was just a solid decline after that. In terms of, what I'm expecting for Hbar, or what I would have expected or wanted from Hbar, is just a candle close above 45 cents realistically. So, we're not seeing that. The volume is astronomically low. It's at around 93.9 million. We're sitting at about 49% down in trading volume, so things are not looking too good here. So until we do see a nice reversal here, I'm not going to be too bullish just yet. But hey, we are still closing the gap on Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin's top is very close, and I do think that with that being in mind, altcoins are about to have their nice little start on off the price chart. So that's what's exciting right now is just the fact that Bitcoin's top is closing in, and it's not going to top within the next 7 days or anything like that. We still have a little bit of time to get to that topping point, but I just want to say we'll most likely range on until around the end of the month. But with that in mind, we are very close. Now, before I fully jump into this video, I just want to ask if you guys are new to the channel, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more content, you guys can go check out NCashOfficial.com. I do have the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack on sale right now, 20% off for a limited time only. So with that being said, let's move on. So first, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this tweet from Kevin Cage, and he's talking about, imagine owning Amazon stock years before Amazon even started scaling, before applications were used by the majority of population. We own pieces of the future protocols and networks. And shout out to him, because honestly, when you're looking at things from an overall standpoint on where the long-term viewpoints are, what is the one project that really kind of stands out to you? In terms of what FTPOS is doing, first off, shout out to Danny Ide here, but he's talking about Miko Mean, he's talking about, the ID Next platform, he's talking about digitization, privacy, the identity challenges ahead, the highlights of a few use cases as well in terms of FTPOS. When we're talking about this, right? First off, just look at how huge FTPOS is. Right, go-to payment system since 1984, processed over 2 billion debit card transactions in 2020, worth an average of more than $300 million each day. FTPOS joined Hedera Governing Council after successfully conducting tests to determine feasibility of a digital Australian dollar stablecoin for micropayments. Like, just understand, what some of these companies are actually achieving through all of this, which is the overall statistics behind Hedera, right? It is the fastest, the fairest, the most secure, the most stable, the cleanest asset in the space for DLTs. Not a lot of people are realizing that. Not a lot of people are talking about it. And the reason why, okay, is because they're just ignorant to it, or they just think that the price action is bad. And I get that, right? There's other better ROI positions in this market right now. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who made, a lot of money on other assets in this space. And I get that, right? A lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are, tired of waiting. But, waiting just a little bit more time for these assets to really kind of take off is totally fine in my mind. Even if we don't get to some high grade targets that I've been talking about, which is like, the $6 to $10 range, right? It's totally fine, because in a few years, right, by the next bull run, we don't even know how the world's going to look by then in terms of utility in crypto. But I will say this. When we're talking about owning Amazon before, it really kind of took off, that's essentially what Hedera is right now. A lot of people aren't realizing how huge Hbar actually is in terms of what they are building, but it is much bigger than what most people actually want to realize. For an example, right, we go back to this SKUX partnership. As featured on NASDAQ, is bringing the Coupon Bureau's new digital coupon standard AI 8112 to market. This use case alone will drive billions of transactions a year. Here we can see the token being trialed, step function incoming for Hbar, right? Now, in terms of this, you might be confused on, the Coupon Bureau and why this is even a big use case, because when we're talking about, the Coupon Bureau, a lot of people think that, oh, it's whatever, it's just coupons, who cares? Well, first off, let's check this out, right? On record, Walmart will be promoting the Coupon Bureau's new AI 8112 digital coupon standard built on Hedera. This new technology will be brought to the masses by SKUX and Blackhawk, right? Via the largest retailers in the US. This will all be fueled by Hbar. Now, the best part about this, right, is that, like they said, Walmart is listed on here. The best part about Walmart is when we're talking about Fortune 10 companies and when we're talking about, Fortune 500 and all that kind of stuff, we know that, Lehman Barrett actually confirmed this. Let's actually listen in real quick, all right? Let me make sure that I have everything selected for you guys so that you could properly hear this. 1 second. So here we go. All right.
This is a huge thing. There are companies I can't even talk about. I'll only mention 3, but there's a Fortune 500 company that's doing VAT payment tracking on EU cross-border. So in the European Union, things that go across borders, you have to track the value-added tax, and they're doing this using Hedera for process integrity to stop fraud and to make things efficient and fast. And just 2 other I lied. It wasn't a Fortune 500 company. It's a Fortune 10 company. Big company working on a product engine that leverages HTS and HCS. Both our tokens and our consensus put together. And doing this to optimize workflows and doing this as a service to other companies, other enterprises, other startups. And then there's a Fortune 500 company doing NFTs for fashion and for collectibles. You have DLA Piper. This is one of our council members doing tokenization for...
Now, we don't have to listen into the whole thing, but I do want to really quickly address what he said here.
So in the European Union, things that go across borders, you have to track the value-added tax, and they're doing this using Hedera for process integrity to stop fraud.
To stop fraud, okay? Now, a lot of these companies in the top 10, okay, now this is... When we're talking about a lot of these, first off, it could be anything in terms of any of this, but obviously, Alphabet would be the best choice here, realistically. But, of course, in terms of Walmart, there's no real links here besides the Coupon Bureau, which it could technically possibly be that. But I will say, more so my bet is on Alphabet, just in general. So, but if we're talking about Walmart, it would have to be something with the Coupon Bureau for fraud, right? Because I know a lot of people don't realize, but coupon fraud is a serious problem. In fact, let's go check out the Coupon Bureau in terms of the Hedera website, actually. $600 million annual coupon fraud. I know that it might not sound like a lot, but it is a decent amount for a company to lose. Now, of course, there's 1.7 billion annual coupon redemptions, 225 billion annual CPG promotional spending. So coupons are a pretty big thing, right? And I've actually discussed this even in terms of this, Reddit post here, in terms of about 834 million daily transactions that would pretty much flow over Hedera. 303 billion total transactions per year, which is incredible to say the least. Okay, so when we're going back to this, the Coupon Bureau could have links to pretty much anything. It could have links to, Walmart. It could have links to, realistically, this could link to pretty much anything out there. We look at what pretty much the offers are from, the Coupon Bureau. First off, they're partnering with pretty much a ton of people on a day-to-day basis because this is, an AI format for coupons to pretty much see, or I should say, catch fraud or fraudulent things. In fact, with over $100 million in annual fraud wreaking havoc on the Coupon Bureau, or the coupon industry, sorry, it is critical for innovators like Catalina to lead the industry in advancing the standard to a more secure format that reduces the burden of all parties and discourages counterfeit activity. Now, of course, this is from the CEO at the Coupon Bureau. So, when we're talking about that, we also see here, we anticipate the adoption will be accelerated thanks to the extensive scale of Catalina's retailer network, coupled with their manufacturer client base representing millions of coupons annually. Now, again, I'm just going to say it right now, this could have huge links to pretty much anybody out there. We talk about, even CVS. CVS is also mentioned in terms of this as being the number 4th retailer. In terms of that, again, where are coupons going to be, the most utilized? in just retail adoption in retail stores like Walmart. You look at grocery stores in general. Coupons are going to be huge within this. Now, of course, are we going to, dead set say that Walmart or CVS are going to be the number one choices here? No, at all, because we know that Hedera is in the pharmaceutical area as well. We know that they're in the tech and I mean they're essentially in pretty much every single market out there. But more so, I would say, it's most likely probably Alphabet that he was talking about. But again, with the Coupon Bureau, we're seeing a lot of innovation and a lot of adoption happening within this. And I think that the Coupon Bureau is one of those, again, one of those partnerships that I've always said in the past. People look at it and pretty much laugh and say, oh, it's just coupons, whatever, it's nothing big. But it really actually is huge, especially when we're looking at something like this, unified commerce provider first global POS to adopt and implement new universal digital coupon standard. Again, this is coming from the Coupon Bureau, as you guys do see down here, right? So the Coupon Bureau is much bigger than what most people are actually expecting it to be, and I do think that it's going to be a lot bigger than what anybody actually expects it to become as well, because we do see here this update to the coupon standard recognizes the increasing desire of shoppers to use digital coupons as part of a quick and easy checkout process, no matter if it's paper, mobile, or online commerce. The new standard will be a win for retailers, shoppers, and manufacturers, and we're particularly excited that Fluid's clients will be among the first retailers to test and roll out the new digital coupons. Again, this is going to streamline a lot of what is pretty much problematic within the entire coupon space. And I know what a lot of people are probably thinking right now. This is just coupons. This is not a massive market, but this is actually a huge market. And like I said, the overall, pretty much scale of coupons is much bigger than what most people think. Just in general, 303 billion transactions per year on Hedera, that would be huge. In fact, 834 million transactions per day comes to about 9,652 TPS, which again is still under the current throttle TPS. So this is huge. And again, we're seeing here, so with the 81110 or the 8110 fully sunsettled and 8112 fully integrated, this should mean TCB, or the Coupon Bureau, is estimated to process about 830.1 million daily transactions through Hedera, which would bring it up to about 834 million. So listen, like I said, this is just from one use case, and I've talked about this in the past, and we are seeing a lot more updates coming within this ecosystem for coupons. This is just from November 4th alone, and this was November 3rd, and I totally missed these, but I figured, I would throw them in here and talk about these because, again, we are seeing mass adoption happening for the Coupon Bureau, which, again, is a direct lead or connection to Hedera. And when we're talking about the Coupon Bureau at scale, I think it's actually going to be bigger than this. In fact, I think that we could pretty much expect it to be, even higher, to probably about 1 billion daily transactions. And if we get to that point, that's endgame. And transaction flows are going to start ramping up very soon. Probably in 2022 is where we will see a lot of the transactional flows start to really kind of ramp up at a rapid pace. But I am excited also to see a lot of these links come out in terms of who the Fortune 10 company is, because once that does get announced, it's going to be similar to when they announced Google being a GC member. A lot of people are going to be pretty much batting their eyes at Hbar and just in shock on who they are actually working with. And again, it's good for retail FOMO. It's good for pretty much any sort of FOMO, but I don't really care about the short-term FOMO or anything like that. I'm more so dead set on the long-term, viewpoints on Hbar and what they are building. And I think that this is incredible in terms of the Coupon Bureau. I've always said that a lot of these use cases are undermined just because they are not, big banks or B2B payment transaction flows or anything like that. But again, these use cases that are big or small are going to help the network prosper anyway. So in terms of Hbar, in terms of what we are seeing with this tweet here, and like I said, shout out to Kevin Cage, incredible individual. These are like owning Amazon stock, but these are so much bigger than that, because when we're talking about Hbar at scale, I've always said it could really give Ethereum a run for its money. I think that the future is not Bitcoin anymore. We're talking about, massive utility adoption. We're talking about adoption growing on a day-to-day basis. We've seen that throughout this entire market. And I just want to say right now, You know, with the NFT markets as well, possibly flipping the entire $1.2 billion business of Coinbase alone, NFTs are growing at a rapid pace. We know that Hedera is in the NFT marketplace, and they're pretty much building out these incredible, pretty much markets as well. The future is incredibly bright for Hbar, and I could not be any more happier to have a large stake in this, asset. And like I've always said, this is a short-term and a long-term play for me. I have a lot of plans for this asset, and if you're in this asset, definitely do your own research and definitely look at the long-term viewpoints and the long-term, pretty much developments that are happening on the ecosystem right now. But with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.